Hey, what's up everybody? So here's a picture of NASA's famous photograph of the Earth from the moon. Now, look at how big the Earth is, and keep in mind that the moon is, according to mainstream science, about, well, let's find out, 238,900 miles away. So let's look at the picture again. Now this is actually fully zoomed out on Google Earth. And Google Earth has this nifty little device here that tells you how far away you are from the object you're looking at, being the Earth. How far away you are from the Earth. This right here is approximately 40,000 miles away. And yet, when we do a side-by-side comparison, or an overlapping comparison, they're the exact same size. 40,000 miles away and 238,900 miles away. 238,900 miles, and Google Earth is showing 40,000 miles. So, how interesting. Now, keep in mind that this picture right here from Google Earth at 40,000 miles away, approximately, that's nowhere near 238,900 miles away. It's about 1/6 of that distance. So, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and shrink this image of the Earth down. Let's see what it looks if we zoom out. Now, keep in mind, we're 40,000 miles away right now. So let's go ahead and we'll paste this picture into good old Paint Shop. And we will resize it half as big. So we will go out twice as far, which will be 80,000 miles away. Well, there's how big it is when it's 80,000 miles away. Let's go ahead and go twice as far out again. We're only at 160,000 miles, and let's do a comparison. 40,000, 160,000. Or if you want to use NASA's version, 240,000 or 160,000. Something's very wrong. Now, if this is 160,000 miles away right here, approximately, or we can even use Google's model at 40,000 miles away, and it's this big. This image is actually zoomed. This actually is centered on the island of Hawaii, which is approximately 50 miles wide. Now, can you see Hawaii? Now remember, we're only 40,000 miles away right now. We're nowhere near 240,000 miles away where the moon is. Can you see Hawaii? No, and it's only 50 miles in diameter. You know what else is 50 miles in diameter? This is called Tycho on the moon, and it is 50 miles in diameter. And if the moon is 238,900 miles away, yet I can easily zoom in on this 50-mile wide crater, and this isn't even zoomed in all the way. Then shouldn't we be able to take our Nikon P900 to the moon from 238,900 miles away and zoom in? Or, I mean, shouldn't it look more like this, or even half the size of this at 160,000 miles away? Could you zoom in from here and see Hawaii? Or Lake Erie or Lake Ontario, which are both 50 miles in diameter? Now, here we are, 40,000 miles away. You can't see Hawaii, and it's only 40,000. So, oh, and one last thing before we go. Here is the infamous, or the famous, meteor crater in, I think it's in Arizona in the United States. And this thing right here is about a mile wide. And this is taken from an airplane, so we'll say it's 7 miles up. 1 mile wide, 7 miles up. So push this out about 30,000 miles. So shrink this like 3,000 times. And would you be able to see that? Would you be able to zoom in on that? I don't think so. So I'll leave you with this comparison. Remember, this is Google Earth saying that this is how big the Earth is at 40,000 miles away. And this is NASA saying this is how big the Earth is at 240,000 miles away. You do the math.